As you guys can probably figure, but I have also mentioned this over the years, I am an agnostic. I'm not saying that I don't believe in religion, but I'm also not saying that I completely believe in it, literally 100%. I do think that religion attempts to explain the things that we do not really have solid scientific explanations for. Therefore, it is a realm that religiously should be explored because religion is what devotes the time and resources and studies into evaluating it a little further. We can also say the same about how, with science, that's more about the observable environment. Let it be microscopic, let it be interstellar, whatever you want to call it, and the immediate environment that we can perceive and observe, right? And then from time to time, the topic about aliens comes up. And I look at it like this. Let's say that for whatever reason, aliens have been here forever, this entire time. Like, say, maybe from back in the 50s and whatnot. Are you really eager to know about that? Are you prepared to know about that? Do you think you're prepared to handle the truth about aliens? Because I can tell you that the way that some people react to certain news or certain information, it leads me to believe that maybe even if it is factual that aliens are amongst us and maybe we don't even recognize them, sometimes I feel like even if the details of alien life were to be broadcast, not everybody is equipped to digest that information, especially on their own. And sometimes I feel like there is a bigger truth that we aren't being told, that only a handful of people know, and sometimes those handful of people who know end up going crazy from it. And maybe that's why toward the end of their lives we see them behaving rather erratically. All I have to say is I always am open to possibilities. I cannot dismiss, but I cannot prove anything. And I really think when it comes to aliens, I only have one question, especially about how they arrive here. I'm talking about the more advanced, developed aliens, not the pieces of alienry that maybe we got our hands into via comets crashing in here and scattering whatever content they had, or let it be when we travel out into space and we come back to orbit, we don't know what we may be bringing into our atmosphere, whether it survives or not. The question I would like to ask is, people in ancient times, before we knew of aviation the way we know about aviation presently, what were they seeing in the sky? Outside of shooting stars, what did these people witness in the sky? What kind of aircraft did they witness specifically? I'm not talking about they saw rain, or they saw the aurora borealis, or they saw the shooting stars and all that stuff, or maybe lightning to lightning action that happened to ignite something and they couldn't explain that lightning struck from the skies to the ground, or from the ground to the skies, or from cloud to cloud. Maybe they couldn't explain that back then. But outside of those weather phenomena, let's include comets as part of the weather. What were they seeing in the skies? Is there any evidence that ancient people witnessed what we call aircraft or spacecraft out there in the skies, in the heavens? Something with an engine, or maybe if it doesn't have an engine, did you witness some kind of organic being that could actually swallow people and transport them somewhere else? Because who's to say that there isn't a spaceship out there or an aircraft out there in this immense universe that possesses technology like that? The same way that we can ride horses, maybe there is a creature big enough that you can domesticate into it letting you ride it or something. So that's my only question. What did people in ancient times witness in the sky as mediums of transport in the skies? That's the only question I have when it comes to aliens. And I put it like that specifically because, again, people are always talking about the UFOs and stuff. When did UFO sightings begin? And if UFO sightings began during the time that we were competing against each other in the race towards space, say in the 50s and 60s and all that, then I think we got the answer. We are the aliens, maybe. So yeah, you guys, I thought I would just spit that out because the conversation of aliens never dies down, and I don't think I dived into that topic too much. Like, I've mentioned it here and there, but I thought I would give a refresh to the topic. Let me know your thoughts.